Figured I would show my backhoe. This is a backhoe attachment that a customer of mine gave me. So it was the seat and basically everything you see from that point forward was given to me. So I traded a friend of mine out of a Ford F350 or 450 frame, I believe, and the rear end. He had a tool body on this and had made it into a trailer. So I got that from him, mounted that on there. So I took a piece of plate and made a mount. So it's got something that mates here. I just welded these to the front plate here, and then this can be removed. And for now, I've just got it welded down here where I can cut it loose if I need to. Got braces here that go up to the frame, and in order to steer it, you use these levers. So these are clutch master cylinders for a Chevy truck, and they just go to the brakes for each wheel. So if you want to go to the right, you pull that, engages that brake, and it turns. Some of this is temporary, but this is coming from the pump and feeding this valve body. Couldn't think of the word. And then it passes through. So this is your power beyond port. It goes into the main backhoe valve and back into a return. So I've got it teed right here. So this returns to there, and this is the return that's also teed in right there from that valve body. This is for the hydraulic motor. I've just got a little linkage deal here. You just step on this with your feet to go forward and to go backwards. And I've got these tied together for now with a temporary lever for my outriggers in the back here. So made these whatever you call these things, outriggers. Lines go up to there. So a Harbor Freight motor that looked a lot better than this about 20 minutes ago before I broke this and it crashed into the motor. So it is now no longer recoil start, it's electric start only. But it's a 13.5 horse motor, or 13 horse. And I bought these from a scrapyard. They came off of a snowplow, from what I understand. And I sort of retrofitted them to this so I would have swivel wheels. So this rear end, I made a little adapter plate here to adapt this drive shaft to this rear end, and I cut the drive shaft down and welded it here to go into this. So I keep this in four-wheel low and first gear. Generally it'll run in second gear as well, and I just use forward and reverse up there at the valve body. And so Northern Tool pump was about 60, 85 bucks, somewhere in that vicinity. Made an adapter, went to Dalco, bought these little doodads here to put it together. This is your supply, goes through a big filter that I got at Northern as well, and that goes into the bottom of the tank. This was a diesel tank that a friend of mine gave me, and I just welded these to the tank and put little ears here and put it there, and then welded some bungs to the bottom for my supply and return lid here. And I had a different pump on it that used to return that no longer needed here. And this is just for weight, because there's so much weight on the other end. I've just got junk stuck in here to give me some weight on this end. In the process of re-welding this, I got stuck and ripped that off. So not too good. But works really well. Took the wiring, and there used to be a switch here for a key, and I moved it up here. So now I can start it from the seat. The only thing that I haven't done yet is I've got to run a clutch cable up to here, or not a clutch cable, a what do you call that thing? Choke cable, so I can pull it to engage the choke. But ideally, I'll be able to do everything from the seat of the backhoe. So I'll be able to get up here, start it, choke it if I need to, drive it, do everything from here. So I've still got to do some linkage for this. This is, like I said, this is just a temporary thing because I've been digging up stumps and stuff in my yard. So the motor, this is a high torque, low RPM motor that I got on eBay for about 200 bucks. Made an adapter here. I took this is a GeoTracker transmission that I took out of an old GeoTracker I had that I'd bought for the hardtop. I took the transmission out. I took the clutch components apart, and I pressed out the splined portion of the clutch that actually mated with the input shaft of the clutch. I made a little plate here, welded that on it, and then I made a keyed piece that goes on the shaft here and welded the splined part to the inside of that to where it would mate up with the input shaft on the motor. And so it just slips on. You can unbolt these and pull this whole assembly out. The one thing I do think I messed up on is I probably shouldn't have used 1/4 inch lines here. I should have used at least 3/8 or 1/2 inch. I think it generates a lot of heat, so I'm going to go back and probably replace those with 1/2 inch lines. But anyway, that's it. I'll take a video of it running at some point, but it is a beast. I mean, this thing will dig like you wouldn't believe. It's got sharp edges on the corners here. One thing I do want to do is make a bucket that's the width of this. So when I'm burying water lines or electrical lines or something like that, I don't want to have to put a 2-foot wide trench out there and rebury it. I'd rather do something that's about 6 inches, 8 inches wide. So overall, everything works extremely well. I've got to fix that cylinder. Something is goofy with it. The feet, I've also got to fix these. I made this out of 3-inch tubing, and I put it in CAD and drew everything up, and it worked out real well in CAD until I realized that you've got to drive this down the road. So this is its own trailer, essentially. So you can pull it up, and these, whatever these things are, line up, and you drop that pin in there with that brace, and it locks this into place and it can't move. This hydraulic cylinder will leak back, so I've got to put a strap to the other cylinder to hold it in place. And when I made these, I made them a lot longer than this, and they work real well, but I've got to do something with that foot. So I'm going to make a foot with spikes in it, and I've got 4 bolt holes on the corners of that to where I can put different plates. So if I want to go somewhere and I don't want something that's quite so aggressive that will dig in, then I can not use that. I can just take that part off. Or if I wanted something where I want to dig into the ground and kind of stabilize myself a little better, then I can put something in there. So I made all of the pins to where you can grease them from the sides. So I've got a grease fitting here on the cylinder, but I can also run grease in here. It goes through a little hole and goes out into each bushing. So made these, welded the bushings into them, welded this onto the frame here. At some point, I would like to figure out a way to put more weight in this area and chop it right here and take everything from here forward out, where and then have a retractable trailer hitch deal, so it'll kind of come out this way and give me a place to hook up to it. So this thing's just, you know, it's rather long when you look at it. So I'd like to have something that's a little more nimble. So, but anyway, this is it. And like I said, I'll do a video of it running at some point. So there you go. Have a good day.